Hey guys, Bamboo Shadow here. Today with a dethyl-skip tutorial. Um, yeah, I was thinking couldn't hurt to do a video tutorial on this trick, mainly for my own documentary purposes. Since it's a trick you don't use that often, maybe in random or 100% or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to summarize everything I know about this trick in like a video and also some PDF and a JPEG. You can find that in the description below. You can just print out the PDF if you want to have that for practice purposes. So yeah, but let's start from the top and talk about this glitch and how it's working. Mainly what we're trying to do is, you can see Ganon here in the final phase. And he's spawning his bats and they are flying towards us. And what we're trying to do is to play the ocarina at the exact frame that a bat gets the command from the game to take off and fly towards us. That's happening in exactly one frame. And we can use the ocarina because the ocarina has like some weird exploit, some weird property. When you play it, it actually skips a frame into the game. And we're going to play the ocarina to skip that frame where the game sends the command to the bat, yo, you gotta take off and fly towards Link. And that makes the bat freeze in a certain place, and that's gonna make something possible called dethyl-skip, so we can skip the final phase of Link's Awakening boss rush in Windfish Egg entirely. On other note, you have to know about buffering. So if I'm buffering start, I'm gonna do it like that. I'm pressing start, and if I'm in the menu, I'm gonna press it once and then hold it down again. And that makes it possible to skip one frame at a time. So I can buffer one frame, like frame by frame, with using the start button. I can use the select button, and I can just hold the select button, as you can see, to buffer 4 frames at a time. So I'm going to use the select button to skip 4 frames. I'm going to use the start button to skip 1 frame. And yeah, making it possible to skip like an exact amount of frames with buffering start or select makes dethyl-skip possible. So let's get right into it. We're in the final boss fight. Moldorm is done. We're gonna dash into Ganon. You can dash into Ganon 4 times if you want to play it safe. 5 times also works. Shouldn't dash into him 6 times and 100% because that already kills him. And you'd have to stand at exactly this position right there after you dashed into him. It's really exactly that position, and make sure you're not clipped. If you're clipped into here, it doesn't work. You really have to stand at the exact same position every time. So what you want to do is really just come from the bottom, go up there, and stand there. Link has to face up, like this, you know. So that's the setup. And I'm just gonna take 4, stand in the corner here. You have to stand into that corner here before the first of his bats is taking off. If you're standing in the corner too late, it's gone. You know, you have to be in this very corner before the first bat flies towards you. So if you're like really new to this trick, maybe just dash into him once or something, and make sure you're standing in that corner facing up. So what we are gonna have to do next is we have to learn, we have to figure out on which frame we can play the ocarina to actually make the dethyl-skip work. And we're gonna do that utilizing different patterns. We're gonna do that recognizing different patterns of the bat positioning and on the way Ganon is looking in different phases. And I'm gonna use frame advance here to show that. So we're gonna start the first time Link gets hit by a bat, and that is exactly that frame. I'm calling this 9, number 9, because it takes 9 more frames till the frame where you have to play the ocarina. So if you Do the math. If you need 9 more frames, that's 1 start buffer and 2 times select. That's 1 frame with a start buffer and 2 times 4 the select buffers. So that's why I'm calling this 9. And I gave this a name. I called this 4 red because there are 4 red bats on the screen. And 2 of the bats are like showing their wings. So that's why I'm calling that 4 red double red wing. Advancing one more, we have 8. I call this 3 red because we have only 3 red bats around Ganon, at least visible. And you can see like at this place, Ganon suddenly has a hole in his body for whatever reason. So I call this 3 red hole. It's number 8. And since it's 8 frames too, you have to play the ocarina. You have to buffer select twice. I like to call this 7. I call this 3 rat and mustache. Like, I like to think of this as Ganon's mustache, you know, like it's this, you know, horizontal beam / hole in his face, whatever. I just call this mustache, you know. And since it's 7 frames, you have to play the ocarina, buffer start 3 times and select 1 time. This one is the first one where we get not red bats, but yellow bats. And this is number 6. I call this double yellow wing. We got a few more yellow bat states, but this is the only time where you will see that the yellow bats will actually spread their wings. So this is a double yellow wing. And it's number 6, so you have to buffer start twice and select once. You can see the wings are gone in number 5, which is right yellow plus hole. I call this right yellow because the next frame this bat is gonna like be 1 or 2 pixels further to the left. And you can see there's this hole appearing inside of Ganon. So this is number 5, still the yellow bats. Right yellow plus hole, and since it's 5, you have to buffer start once, select once. So there you can see this bat moved further to the left, and it's sort of hiding behind Ganon. That's why I'm gonna call this number 4, left yellow, because it's like it's further to left, this bat. Left yellow, and it's hiding behind Ganon. So this is number 4. And this is actually the thing I'm going for always. Because with number 4, you only have to buffer select once after you pause for the ocarina. And yeah, it's like the fastest you can get. After that, we have pattern number 3. I call this yellow 3 bars. I call this yellow because you can see the bats are still yellow. And you suddenly have like 3 bars. You know, this is not a bar, but you can see like there are these 3 holes inside of Ganon's sprite or whatever it is. So I like to think of this as 3 bars, you know, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. And the bats are still yellow. So that's number 3. You have to buffer start 3 times. Number 2, you can see they changed the color back to red. And you can also see this bat, which was actually hitting us at first, is visible again. Like it was sort of hiding behind Link, and now it's visible again. So that's why I'm calling this number 2, 4 red, and Link right bat. I call this Link right bat because like the bat that is hitting Link is like to the right, you know, like it's the right position, as opposed to the Link left bat, which is number 1. You can see this bat which was hitting Link is a little further to the left. So I call this number 1, 4 red Link left bat. And 4 red, obviously, like before, because we have the 4 red bats on the screen. And since it's number 1, needless to say, you have to buffer start 1 time. And the very last frame, where you have the chance to get the dethyl-skip done, is number 0. I call this 4 red no link bat because the bat that was hitting link is not visible again. So you have to memorize these 10 patterns. Well, maybe not all of them. You can just like, you got 10 frames to get the streak done. So maybe just like try to get the timing going and yeah, try to utilize it to make this trick work. So we need to have these patterns in our head to to be able to recognize it fast enough once we get hit by a bat. I'm gonna show this here in RTA time. So that was too early. Try this one more time. So I'm gonna buffer, press start, and then immediately pause. So you can see I was getting hit by the bat here, and I pressed start and immediately paused the emulator. And yeah, you can see Ganon has his mustache. I have 3 bats, so I know that's number 7, the mustache. And so when I unpause, I have to switch to the ocarina and buffer 7 more frames. So that's 1 time start, 2 times start, 3 times start, and the select, and after that I buffer the ocarina. It's I can play tune number 3 or tune number 1. It's like, it doesn't matter. Don't play number 2 because that'll warp you out of the windfish egg. You don't want to do that. So, and that's also how you basically practice, you know. If you practice with an emulator, you can just like, you know, let the bats fly towards you, press start, and after that immediately pause the emulator. And now you can see I have pattern number 3. I have the 3 yellow bars, so I have to switch to the ocarina and then buffer 3 more times to start. That's 1, 2, 3, and coming out of that I buffer B for the ocarina, and that makes the bat freeze at that position. The bat has an HP value of 0, so once I finish Ganon and after that I finish Lanmola with a casual spin, the game actually thinks that this bat is Ganon. Not Ganon, the game thinks that this bat is Dethyl and it has an HP value of 0, so it immediately dies. And you can see the text boxes that are appearing when you finish the game are appearing, and the stairs are spawning even though there's another Dethyl on screen and I can finish the game. So yeah, towards practicing, make a safe state after Moldorm, get in this corner, you know, and just wait. The bats fly towards you. Start, and immediately after that pause the emulator, try to recognize the patterns. You can see this is the yellow pattern where the bats still have their wings down. Not still, already have their wings down, but you can see this bat is a little further to the right as opposed to the left, the pattern that's where the bat is further to left. So that's number 5, I know now. And I have to buffer start 1 more time. Select. I hope I didn't mess up my inputs there. That was a little wonky. Okay, still made it. So yeah, that's the way how you can freeze that bat into the position. Yeah, and let's try this RTA without pausing the emulator. Let's see if I can get it done. Because you don't have too much time to recognize the patterns now. Okay, that was like number 6, because I saw the left bats and they had their wings still up, so I have to select once and start twice. It doesn't matter, the order doesn't matter. Just matters that you buffer the right amount of frames. Immediately switch back to the sword. You can finish Ganon. And be done with the game. So, that's how you want to practice this trick. So that was the pattern where the bat is hiding behind Ganon. I hope I saw this right. No, shit, man, I messed it up. That was actually 1 frame further. That was the 3 bars. I saw that wrong. So you can see it's like really hard to recognize the patterns correctly in that small amount of time. This one I also don't know. I guess that was number 2. I hope. 1, 2 for Ocarina. Yeah, I was actually number 2. No, it's kind of hard, especially if you have to watch for Link. 3, 4, 5. Stand in the corner. Okay, that's an easy one again. That's the wing down left thingy. That's number 5. So I always try to aim for like the yellow patterns, you know. Yellow patterns are usually quite easy to distinguish from each other. So yeah, that's dethyl-skip in a nutshell. Oh yeah, I always try to stand here in the final phase. Try to push Death a little up there, try to avoid his arms and then get into the stairs. It's like the any percent strat where the old any percent strat where you don't try to get hit from Deathful at the end. Yeah, so that's about it. Everything I know about dethyl-skip. Hope you can use that. Have fun practicing and using that in speedruns in 100% in randomizer or whatever. And yeah, you can find your own ways, you know, but this is just what works best for me, you know. Having like a countdown from 9 to 0. Check out the link below. The PDF and the JPEG I made of the different Ganon sprites, Ganon states with the bats and the positions and whatnot. And yeah, let's go speedrun. Take care.